Rams house. Happy Saturday and welcome into a brand new episode of the Rams Report presented by PrizePicks as always. Guys, on today's show, we're rounding up the Rams news you need to know. Everything you might have missed from this week will be covered on today's show. All the Rams news that might have slipped by you that we didn't exactly cover on the show in a straight up episode. Again, we talked about this last week on Saturday. There's always a little bit that gets by us that doesn't make sense to do a full video on, but that I want to talk about. That's becoming our new Saturday thing. So let's jump into today's show with some news around the new alternate uniforms. I know some of you guys really don't care about the uniform stuff, but me personally, I love picking up a new uni, and our most recent ones, I was so not a fan of the name tag that I avoided buying one because I knew they were going to get rid of it. I knew they were going to change it, and finally they did this offseason. We got our new primary uniforms earlier this offseason. We covered that already. But when the Rams announced the reveal of the new primaries, which for those of you who did not know, the rivalry uniform is coming back as well this season. That'll be part of the closet until 2028. They also announced that coming this summer, we will get 2 new alternates. Summer 2026 was the date. Obviously, they're totally blank on this concept art, so we don't technically know what they're going to look like. We have some theories, which I'll discuss in a second. But before we get to that, I want to know, Ramley, where are we at here on the new look? Do you like it, or are you not a fan of the uniform redesign? Because me personally, again, I really think it's an upgrade over the old look. I really don't think the 2020 rebrand that they did was great, and I think that this takes it from a general concept that worked with some details that needed fixing to let's fix all of those little details and make it a great concept. But, again, more coming out on the rivalry, or not the rivalry uniforms, the alternate uniform. Zach Cohen, the king of uniform leaks, the king of uniform news, he told us on Twitter on July 1st, this would make sense. He was responding to somebody talking about the timeline being July 27th for the Bills uniform release. But he also said, since both the Bills and Rams alternates will go on sale that day on July 27th, although typically teams release their new helmets before they're available to the public. So July 27th is the absolute latest they'll be unveiled. So expect official teasers in the next couple of weeks. So again, that was on July 1st. There is a timeline now for the uniform reveals. And shortly after that, from Alan Sales on Twitter, we heard about a special announcement that's coming to Rams season ticket holders. Shout out to Alan Sales, big-time member of the Rams community on Twitter, for those of you who are over there. He posted this. This is going to be, again, exclusively for Rams season ticket members on July 23rd, a, quote, special surprise announcement featuring current Rams players, coaches, and executives. I'm not going to lie, guys, this is your reveal. This is going to be the reveal of both of the alternates to Rams season ticket holders on July 23rd, but expect a teaser in the next 2 weeks. Expect some sort of social media post that starts to tease towards the alternates coming over the next couple of weeks. I truly think that that is going to be the timeline that makes the most sense here from a Rams perspective. Because, again, you're going to want to start to build a little bit of hype, fully reveal them to season ticket holders, and then, again, I think it's probably the next day that they are fully publicly revealed. We're going to keep going through all the Rams news you might have missed in just 1 second. But before we do that, I got to give a shout out to the sponsor of today's video, guys, and that's the good people over at PrizePicks. If you are a regular viewer of the Rams Report, you know I love playing daily fantasy sports on PrizePicks. But if you're new around here or you've never heard of PrizePicks, there's never been an easier way to play daily fantasy sports, my friends. All you have to do is pick 2 to 6 players. You're selecting more on their stat projections, whether you're picking from home runs, strikeouts, if you're going for some baseball action. They've got World Cup action. You can go for goals, shots, saves. They've also got professional football season-long lineups. You can go with receiving yards, receiving touchdowns, all sorts of stuff from all your favorite sports. Plus, they also have awesome social features that allow you to easily tailor-fade your friends or your favorite creators, including me. I'm Jackson Durham with no spaces on there, so you guys can drop a follow and see all of the latest lineups that I've been placing, including my lineup for today's World Cup action. You guys know I've been getting into the World Cup, so trust me on these ones. I've been watching a lot. Mo Salah, we're going with the more on goals and assists. We're going with a lot of Messi picks. We know that's the GOAT right there. So we're going with the more on the goals for Messi, the more on pass attempts for Messi, and the more on shot attempts for Messi. Again, that is 20 to win 95. So you guys can tail, you can fade, whatever you do, just do it with our friends over at PrizePicks. And make sure you use our promo code when you sign up. Download the PrizePicks app today and use code HMA when you play your first $5 lineup to receive $50 in lineups. That's code HMA when you play your first $5 lineup to get an extra $50 in lineups with PrizePicks. The clickable link to download the app is in the comments and the description below. As always, thank you to PrizePicks for sponsoring today's video. Coming up next on today's show, we're going to talk about LeRoy Irvin. This was very unfortunate news. Yesterday, it was announced by the Rams, officially or initially, it was announced by Eric Dickerson, Rams legend at running back, that his teammate and a Rams legend himself, LeRoy Irvin, passed away yesterday at 69 years old. And that is incredibly young, to pass away. So incredibly tragic. But I think LeRoy Irvin is one of the more underappreciated Rams legends in our team history. So I just wanted to spend a second acknowledging the career that he had. I never met the man, but I've also heard incredible things about him as a person. Friend of the channel, friend of the show, Jake Ellen Bogan posted about him being a close friend of his. So reaching out to Jake, sorry for your loss, my friend. But the relationship that they had just kind of reveals exactly how welcoming and open to friendship that this guy was. The way Eric Dickerson speaks about him, it just seems like he was a great guy off the field as well. But he was an incredible football player, a 4-time All-Pro selection, 35 career interceptions at the corner spot, one of just a handful of players in NFL history to be selected to an All-Pro team at 2 different positions. He was a punt returner All-Pro, and he was also an All-Pro at the corner spot. And he still, to this day, since 1981, has held the single-game punt return record with 205 punt return yards in a game against the Atlanta Falcons all the way back in 1981. Rest in peace to LeRoy Irvin. Rams family and the NFL family at large lost a great one both on the field and off of it, and I wanted to make sure that did not go unacknowledged on today's show or on the channel in general, the life and legacy of LeRoy Irvin. Moving on. Let's talk about the NFL Top 100 and where the Rams have ranked so far on this thing. And then I'm going to predict where the rest of the Rams who have not yet come in are going to come in. So if you haven't seen it so far, Kyren Williams was revealed earlier this week. He slotted in at 89th this year, which is a 5-spot drop for him from 84th last season. He dropped again last season, but this is the 3rd consecutive year he has been selected by his peers to the NFL Top 100. So even though he kind of continues to slide down the list a little bit, he is still receiving a ton of recognition, a ton of praise from his peers, and acknowledgement as one of the best running backs in our game today. But just revealed yesterday, Byron Young is making his NFL Top 100 debut. Congratulations to Byron Young coming in at 84th off of a 12-sack season. Very, very much deserved his first time posting double-digit sacks in a season, in the NFL, and his first well-deserved NFL Top 100 appearance. So far, we've got 2 Rams on at 89th and 84th. But now I want to take a look at the rest of the list. Who else could come in here? I think Myles Garrett and Matthew Stafford should be first and second. I truly believe that that's the case. I know maybe I'm a little biased, but I really don't know how you could tell me there's a better, more impactful, if you're going to throw positional value out the window, which they regularly do on these things. Saquon was first last year, that Myles Garrett is not the most dominant player at his position in the entire NFL. Last season, he set the NFL single-season sack record. I think he deserves to be first on this. Stafford, second, in my opinion. He continues, he's the MVP, reigning MVP. Puka Nacua, I think they're going to slight him just a little bit and probably have him 7th. Trent McDuffie, I could see realistically in the 30s range. And then this one might be hopeful on my part because he hasn't yet made an NFL Top 100 in his career, and I think he's deserved to several times. But Kevin Dotson, get him on there, man. He is 100% one of the best 100 players in the NFL. It's just ridiculous that this guy has not been on the list before, but he's coming off one of the best seasons of his career. So maybe finally he'll get some recognition. He should be in the mid-60s range at the lowest, in my opinion. There's probably a couple other Rams you should slide on here. Who am I forgetting? Let me know in the comments. Obviously, maybe Devontae Adams could get in this list as well. He's still one of the best red zone targets in the NFL. We'll see where he slots in, how his peers still continue to view him. But let me know in the comments, guys, who am I missing? Who else should be in the top 100 on this Rams roster? And make sure you hit that subscribe button if you haven't already done so to join us here on the Rams Report. And I'll see you guys on Monday.